Hey, welcome to Side New with JW. This is Side New number 98. As one chapter ends, another one begins. So today I concluded a chapter in my life in regards to where I work and the location specifically where I work. And over the last 26 months, it has been the place that I have went to every single day. And this chapter is kind of one of those that's bittersweet on closing. A lot of good things have came out of it. There's always going to be certain bad things that come out of it. But I feel that I ended on a very high note with everything that went on over the last 26 months within that job. And I've met some amazing people, and I have done some amazing things, and I have been around some individuals that have done some just amazing and phenomenal things, and I believe that has made me a better individual, a better leader, a better human being overall because of what I encountered, what I went through with some of these individuals, and what I'm able to take forward now. And tomorrow I get to start that new chapter. I go and I start the kind of the same job that I'm doing, just in a different location, and I'm excited about it. I think that when we're talking about certain things and when we're looking at what's going on in our life, there's always going to be these things, and especially within my profession, every few years you kind of start something new, you finish something, and then you start something new that is still within the same job, but just sometimes different locations. We get sent around the world, and we get to do a lot of amazing things. So you're able to go ahead and do that, and this chapter of your life is now done. And sometimes you can't wait for that chapter to end, or sometimes you can't wait for the new chapter to begin. And I think this is one of those where I was really excited to start something new. And now as this one kind of closes, I feel that I've accomplished all that I could have accomplished there. And luckily for me, I met some very amazing people, some individuals that I'll be able to go ahead and communicate and consider my friends for the rest of my career, rest of my life, etc. But when we're looking at those things that make us successful and the things that we're working towards and the success that we're working towards, these chapters in our lives, they start to build up. And I think that here in this last month, a lot of chapters have kind of ended for me. Like I said, last week I finished college, and that chapter is now done. And when I move on to go for my master's degree or something more, that new chapter begins. What it means for us is we kind of get something new, and we get something that we are able to build off of. The chapter that I just encountered and the chapter that closed, I'm able to build off and make the next chapter that much better. And I'm able to make it that much better because of all the different things that I learned throughout that chapter. 26 months is a long time, a couple of years, it's a long time, and there's a lot of different things that can happen within that time. So you're able to take that experience and you're able to take that time and to move on to something better, and to take all that information, those lessons learned, what worked, what didn't work, and you're able to go ahead and take that into that new chapter of your life, whether it's within work, whether it's within school or family or whatever is going on in your life. And with this chapter, there's a lot of other individuals that really want their chapter to end at this location. And I say to you, hey, look, make that chapter the best chapter it possibly can be, because I think that going into it, there was a lot of misconceptions about what I was going to experience and certain things that I was going to experience, and some came true, but a lot of them didn't. And I was able to turn something that I was told wouldn't be great into something that was great. And I think it was because of obviously my mindset and my mentality of what I was going to do, but I stopped looking at every single negative that there was there. If you only look for the negatives within that chapter, then that chapter is going to turn out to be negative. But if you don't look for those negatives and you figure out all the positives, if you have 10 things and 9 of those are positive, but you're dwelling on the one that's not, well, guess what? That's going to overrule the other 9. Instead of looking at it and being like, wow, 9 things were amazing. Oh, that one, whatever, not even going to count that. And you're able to look at that and you're able to go ahead and see that chapter overall turned out to be better than what you thought it was going to be because you didn't dwell on all the little negatives. And then when you move on to the next challenge, because a lot of my coworkers, every few years we move on to these next chapters and these new challenges. When you do that, you're able to go ahead and have all of this experience and all these different things that you were able to do and able to accomplish, and all the things that you thought were, this is just horrible, and this was that, and you realize that it wasn't. And for those individuals, when we're going through things, you say you move from one job and you really thought that it was going to be an amazing job, and it just turned out that it wasn't. You're able to go and you're able to move on to a next chapter, and you're still able to take that experience with you and move into that next chapter, and going into that next chapter with kind of that clean slate of what is expected, what you think is going to be read. Just because what happened there doesn't mean that chapter is going to go ahead and repeat itself. And even if it does, there are going to be so many different chapters in your life that doesn't mean that you have a few bad chapters, that book overall is not good. You have to be the individual that looks at it. And I think that's one thing that really helped me in, this last chapter was I tried to make every day better, not only for myself, but for all the individuals that were around me. There's going to be certain things that are always just like, oh, well, this sucks, but you don't always have to say it. You don't always have to dwell on it, and you can turn it in, well, it sucks, but we're going to make it better, and we're going to do something about it. We're going to be able to make the change. And when you have a group mentality that wants to make some type of change when they think that there's something wrong, that helps, and that makes that chapter amazing. And I think that's one thing that I'm really, glad I had a lot of good individuals that were on the same page on trying to make the best out of whatever situation. And we didn't always have to. There was a lot of situations that turned out just to be great by themselves, but there were some situations where we did our darndest to ensure that it turned out to be the best. And I'm now able to take that and move on into this next chapter. And although, like I said at the beginning, it's kind of bittersweet, I am so excited that chapter is over for all the good reasons, not the bad ones. And I'm super excited to move into this next chapter because all the great things that I learned in the last one and what I'm able to now go ahead and take to this new chapter and the next couple of years and see what's going to happen in there. I accomplished a lot of great things, and I kind of set a new standard for myself. And the bar is very, very high. It was really high, but I bumped it up, and now I'm going to go ahead and I am going to not just try, but I'm going to accomplish, things that were that were great. I'm going to accomplish it even more. I'm going to accomplish more great things, and I'm going to do it, in a different way. And I'm going to, push those individuals that are around me to also accomplish great things, because overall, at the end of the day, my goal has always been make as many individuals great, so therefore that spreads, right, like the virus that needs to be spread throughout the world. The greatness, creating other great individuals around them, turning into phenomenal individuals, and weeding out the individuals that are weak-minded and that don't bring anything to the table, and have more individuals that are out there that are great, that are doing everything that they want and everything they can to be successful because they have the right mindset, and leaving those individuals behind that don't, because they have made that decision. Once we've done everything that we possibly can for them, they've made that decision to go ahead and stay behind and to continue to be that loser. So I'm excited for this next chapter that obviously you will get to experience with me if you continue to watch. But I'm excited. I thank everybody in this last chapter. I truly do for everything, the support, the leadership that I've learned from, the individuals that I've been around. But I'm excited and ready for tomorrow to start that new chapter. And like I said, you'll be able to go ahead and follow along with it and see where we go from here. So until my next video, appreciate you watching. Decide New number 98. As one chapter ends, another begins.